We showed you that Sean McDermott clip at halftime. He was not happy with his offense and the way they executed at the end of that first half. What changed in the second half?
Well, I think offensively, you heard another question in that interview was McDermott said, I thought we were getting a little too aggressive, specifically talking about Josh and the interceptions. Hey, take what this defense is giving you. And what you saw Buffalo do was really have these long, sustained drives in the second half.
Yeah.
Not all of them resulted in points, couple bad situations. And then on the flip side, defensively, you want to talk about adjustments or whatever. Maybe it was a raw speech. But in the first half, the Bills gave 100 yards on the ground. In the second, they didn't give up a first down until that 2-minute drive. And to me, it started with stopping the run. We've talked about this before, Jay. This Miami offense, we love to see, the high-flying numbers of Tyreek and Tua, but the core of it is the run game.
For sure.
When the run game is ripping, that's when the RPOs, the play actions, you see Tua fitting him in the ball in the zone there. Now, all of a sudden, they completely eliminated the run game. And what happened? The pass game fell. You got to tip your cap. So obviously Josh Allen, but to me specifically to this defense who made an absolute statement in that second half.
Because you did get the full Josh Allen experience. And I mean, it's up and down. It's 400-plus total yards. It's 2 touchdowns, but it's also 2 picks. So heading into the postseason, how are you feeling about Josh Allen?
I never know how to feel about this guy. I mean, you just said it. This was another game where, yes, they won by 7 points. Great win, good opponent on the road. But my goodness, they should have won by 20, 21 plus.
Yeah.
You have 2 end zone turnovers. The play at the end of the half, we've already talked about. Sean McDermott, can't happen. The fumble, there was a sack that was also a situation where you have very, very poor ball security, which we talked about week in and week out. But on the flip side, you see this guy's just absolute talent and execution on other plays. I mean, the 2 touchdowns we just watched were flawless.
Yeah.
The arm strength was incredible. To me, the scramble that we're watching right here is something just out of a storybook.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so awesome.
To have your quarterback make that play is incredible, and I can't tell you, if you're on that field, if you're, as a tight end, if you're Dalton Kincaid or Dawson Knox, and you see your leader make a play like that, it's like if you're tired, banged up, sore, it all disappears.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. So you said it, Jay. You see everything with this guy. You don't know what you're going to get. But we'll see next week. That's going to be a hard-hitting game now.
I'll say this, all due respect to Steelers fans, they would definitely prefer to have Josh Allen under center as opposed to Mason Rudolph. What are your early thoughts on this matchup next Sunday at 1 Eastern right here on TSN?
I mean, I think it's going to be very, very physical. I think that the Steelers have nothing to lose, really. I think they kind of snuck into this bad boy. Shout out the Jaguars.
Yep.
But I really do think this is now the Bills' game to lose. I think they can do some damage in this playoff, especially in this first round. They got the 2 seed. You're looking at least 2 home playoff games. Who knows? Could be 3 if they can find a way to do it.
Yep.
They got to clean up these mistakes. We sit here week in and week out, and we talk about the mistakes. You saw it today. You saw enough of the other side of it where they could get a win. The punt return certainly helped. But the Bills got everything they need to make a run right now.
Early thoughts, Luke. We heard your thoughts on Steelers-Bills. First of all, let's talk Browns-Texans. Your thoughts on that one?
I think the Browns are a very, very good team. They have a great defense. Obviously, they rest a lot of guys. Joe Flacco has been ripping the ball around. You got to respect C.J. Stroud. You got to respect the Texans. They're division winners.
Yep.
But to me, I would definitely lean pretty heavy here on the Browns. I think that the defense they have will do enough to really confuse and slow down C.J.
And let's be honest. The Texans just getting into the postseason is like their Super Bowl,
Huge ordeal.
Right? I
Huge
mean,
ordeal.
DeMeco Ryans probably going to be Coach of the Year, might be Coach of the Year.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Dolphins. They're heading to Kansas City now, so it's an amazing setup, of course. Great storyline. Tyreek Hill returns to face the Chiefs. The Chiefs, it's been up and down all year. The Dolphins didn't look amazing on Sunday. What are your initial thoughts?
I think a guy that the Dolphins are missing right now is Waddle. Will Waddle be healthy? Kind of give
Right.
them someone after Tyreek to throw the ball to, so that would play into it. But right now, to me, it's about who's less fraudulent. The Chiefs have been fraudulent this year, and the Finns have been fraudulent at times as well. It's very, very hard because going into the playoffs, I don't think I feel great about either one of these teams.
For sure.
I will say that I think in the playoffs, just based on the history of the last few years, you got to kind of roll with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, totally.
And it wouldn't necessarily surprise me to see Patty Mahomes come out here and have a historic day. It's just something about the guy.
Yep.
He's magical. Kelsey got some rest today, didn't play. I think he'll be healthy next week. Rashee Rice, if they can catch the ball, I think the Chiefs might have a good shot at this one.
I assume Taylor Swift will be there. We'll get that, the Swift bump. Do you have a sleeper pick in the AFC?
It's the Browns. I mean, we just touched on it.
It was the Browns. I knew it.
Joe Flacco, at the beginning of this year, this team was winning ball games. And how were they winning? Handing the ball off and playing great defense, forcing turnovers. Didn't really have much of a threat at quarterback. They go into free agency, find Joe Flacco, who's apparently been sitting on the couch and throwing to high school kids in his local area. And this guy's come out and thrown for 300 yards practically every single game. So now all of a sudden, you've got Amari Cooper, who's getting crazy numbers with Joe Flacco.
Yep.
David Njoku, who's basically been the tight end we all thought he would be when he was drafted with Joe Flacco.
Yep.
And, in my opinion, the best defense in the NFL. I understand they're going to have to go on the road, but this team can run the ball. They can now throw the ball, and they can play hard-nosed, tough defense. The Cleveland Browns are going to be a force in this playoffs.
And horrible news for Philly in the opening quarter. A.J. Brown takes the pass, fumbles, taken down awkwardly. He left with a knee injury. He would not return. Now, Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network is reporting that Brown's ACL is intact based on the initial exam. But Philly now without Brown and without Devontae Smith, their two leading receivers. And then more bad news, Hurts takes the contact of the throwing hand, looks to injure that right middle finger, may have dislocated it.
My goodness, this can't be going. Oh,
this whole team, it's a disaster. Giants up 17-0, second quarter. Tyrod Taylor to Darius Slayton.
this is the Matt Patricia effect. There's wide open guys everywhere. Trust me, I would know.
24-0 for the Giants before the half. And now, Hurts playing through that finger issue, intercepted by Xavier McKinney. Hurts and other key starters benched before the half. Eagles got steamrolled. They're locked in to play Tampa in the wild card. I guess this is somewhat good news after the game. Brown, the sleeve on the knee.
Big Dom's there? Big Dom's around.
Big Dom is like the biggest celebrity in the world right now. Here's Hurts on the finger.
Taking it day by day at this point. Very unfortunate, crazy thing. Never experienced anything like that, but yeah.
What happened?
It popped out.
When you get hit in life, when you get hit in football, you got two options. You can stay down, or you can get the F up. And I know this group is fighters. I know this group will get up. I know that we've all been through things in our life that we've all had to deal with, and we know how to get up. And that's why we're all sitting in this room.
All right, so yeah, what do you have to say about that?
I mean, it's straight out of a Disney movie, you know?
I'll tell you it's straight out of a Disney movie. Your prediction practically months ago that the Rams would be heading to Detroit. Matt Stafford's coming back, baby.
Stafford's coming to town.
It's gonna be. We got some great NFC wildcard matchups here. This is fun. And we're now at the point where, do we just count out the Eagles as a Super Bowl contender at this point? I think their fan base is.
I would. And it's on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And what's strange about this to me, Jay, is that offensively and defensively, the roster is wildly talented. But this just goes to show you that in this league, coaching means so much. And beyond the head coach, you look at your coordinators. Last year, Shane Steichen was the offensive coordinator for this team. He's now the head coach of the Colts. Colts had a very good year. What happened this year? I'm not sure. But this offense looks terrible. What has happened to Jalen Hurts? I don't know. It's literally, hey, we're going to roll around and maybe throw a prayer or throw a check down. What's the identity? They don't run the ball anymore. Who knows what they're trying to do? We can't pick up pre-snap pressures. It's unbelievable. And then on defense, I made a joke about it earlier, but you go out, you lose your D coordinator, and you decide to go get Sean Desai. He's supposed to be this very coveted defensive mind. Midway through the year, you say, I got an idea. We're going to switch to Matt Patricia. Are you kidding me? What has Matt Patricia done well in this league in the last 5 years?
Yeah.
I'll answer that question for you. Nothing. Okay, he took a good Lions roster and destroyed it.
He did.
Then went to a Pro Bowl quarterback in Mac Jones and destroyed that offense.
Yep.
And now he's here and he's getting torched by the Giants and Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I mean, and now you can face the Bucs. What do you think of this matchup?
I mean, the Bucs are not a great football team.
No, they're
it's
not.
very evident. But there's a big but here. Neither are the Eagles.
Yes, they're not.
I think offensively, the Bucs play well against poor defenses. And what do we got on the other side? We've got a very, very poor defense. The Bucs still have Mike Evans. They'll be able to at least utilize him and Godwin a little bit.
Yep.
And the next thing you know, what is going to happen? Is A.J. Brown playing? Is Devonta Smith playing? Is Jalen Hurts' finger going to be okay?
Baker had a pretty good year.
He did. This is going to be a tight game, and it would not – I mean, I would favor the Eagles. I want to say that. But it would not shock me one bit if we get to see Mayfield Magic for another week.
So much money's coming in on the Bucs. So much FanDuel money coming in on the Bucs. We know the Niners are the clear top seed, the class of the NFC. Do you have a sleeper in the NFC?
Sleeper?
Yeah.
It's beyond a sleeper.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Yes.
I mean, where do we begin?
Yeah.
Why don't we begin with Matthew Stafford, who seemingly turned back the clock 10 years and is absolutely cooking?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, what else does he have? He has a running back who's rushed for over 1,100 yards, and outside of CMC is probably the most explosive back in the NFL. His name's Kyron Williams. Oh, who else do we got? Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua today broke the rookie receiving record. The guy's been incredible. He's playing. He's a fifth-round draft pick. He looks like he should have been a top 10 pick.
Only C.J. Stroud will keep him from being Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Facts. And I haven't even named the 2021 Triple Crown winner, who is finally healthy,
That's right.
in Cooper Kupp. And then on the flip side, I mean, not even on the flip side, just to add to it, and I'm sorry, Detroit, but I've got to say it. Sean McVay's cooking right now. He looks like he's happy. He's having a good time. And if there's somebody who probably knows everything about Jared Goff, it's Sean McVay.
Yep.
So this is what I'll say. I don't think the Lions are in good shape this week. And, of course, everyone knows I'm a Lions hater. That's fair. I'll take that. If the Lions beat Matthew Stafford, this team's going. I don't care. They're a team of destiny.
Yes.
I'll ride from the rest of the way. But I honestly think Matthew Stafford's coming to town, throwing for 450, and they're winning by 20.
It's going to be an incredible matchup. Now, we got to show you how the Falcons and Saints ended, despite both these teams missing the playoffs. Everyone was talking about this, Luke, and I'm so curious to get your take as a former player. Fourth quarter, Saints in victory formation. They're up 24, but they fake it, and Jamal Williams punches it in to make it a 30-point game. This is Williams' first TD of the season, and as you can imagine, Falcons head coach Arthur Smith not happy.
That Dennis Allen scored a touchdown at the end. He is hot. He said, "What are you doing?" And he's going at Dennis Allen. You can read his lips.
Now, you heard Dennis Allen say, "I understand that." Dennis Allen spoke about this after the game.
All right, guys. Look, good team win. I'm going to start off by apologizing to Arthur Smith and the Falcons. That was not a play that we intended to run down there to finish out that game. That's not who we are. That's not how we operate. We should have taken a knee right there. They asked me about getting Jamal a touchdown at the end. I said I wanted to take a knee. We put victory out there, and the guys kind of wanted to get him a touchdown, and they did that on their own. That's unacceptable.
So Arthur seemed pretty upset after.
He should be. He should be. He should be.
Well, I apologize to DA because the play was victory. But I also explained to DA that it was a team decision. And I think when you have a team morale, and I asked the guys, I say, guys, like, what do you want to do? We know how much Jamal means to this team, and I understood from DA's perspective. So I give him that. But DA didn't condone that at all. He didn't. However, we decided as a team to do it, and man, we got an interception to the 1 yard line. So if we would have scored, would it still would have been disrespectful?
Well, I mean, again, it's the – what do you think? What do you think of this? Jameis Winston's so strange.
Jay, I got to go on a rant.
Yeah.
I loathe that entire situation. First and foremost, if you're going to do something like that, you don't pretend to be taking a knee and then hand it off. Let's start with the obvious. As an NFL player, no one's expecting this. So I'm just glad nobody got hurt, because this is when people get hurt, when they're like, hey, I'm going 10% and someone shoots off the ball at 100%.
Sure. Yep.
Secondly, if you're Williams here, do you feel good about this touchdown? I get it if you line up and say, hey, listen, everyone, we're going to the, straight up under center and we're running the football because we want to get our guy at TD. Sure. You don't fake set, hey, we're going to trick them when we're up 30 and be like, we're taking a knee. Also, as a guy who's been in a lot of victory formations in my life, there's a bit of what we like to call brothering-long in. I would get up to the line of scrimmage, put my hand down, say, hey, we're taking a knee, and I'm looking at him like, is he going to shoot off the ball?
Yeah.
Okay, game's over. We're not going to do anything inappropriate. What's going to happen now to all us offensive players if it's a situation like this? No one's going to trust you. I thought it was a disgusting play from top to bottom from Jameis Winston. From what I've read, there was no bonuses on the line.
That's the worst part. If there was a bonus on the line, maybe.
And honestly, if that was the case, you might even get some guys on the Falcons that are like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's right.
But to come out and say we're trying to get Jamal a TD and we're going to fake like we're doing it even when we're up 30, have some rinky-dink operation, disobey your coach when you're a second-string quarterback, everything about it sucks. I can't stand it, and I feel bad for Dennis Allen, and I'm glad he apologized.
I didn't know what it would take to make Dennis Allen,
he's embarrassed.
Likable.
Yes, that's.
But it was this. This is what it took to make Dennis Allen likable.
That's fair.
I'll address some questions on the game. As far as the future goes, I'll sit down with Robert, as I do every year at some point at the end of the season, and we'll talk about things as we always do. I'm sure that'll happen. But that's really about all I have to say about that right now, because there's nothing else to talk about.
Do you expect to be coaching the team here next year?
It's disappointing the way the game finished, yeah.
Bill, is it your preference to come back next season and coach the team?
Yeah, so I just finished the game here with the Jets, put everything I had into it, and I'm disappointed in the results.
It's our understanding that you're under contract for next year. Is it your hope to come back? And
I just finished the game with the Jets, Phil. This is put everything I had into it this week and try to prepare our team the best I could to play in it.
Bill, the loss to the Jets did drop you to 4-13. Would you characterize this as one of the most difficult seasons you've ever coached? And has it taken any of the wind out of your sails as far as the effort it takes to coach?
No, I enjoy coaching. Like I said, it was a disappointing season. I covered that in the opening statement, and really don't have anything to add. That's how I feel. But no, I like coaching the team. I like preparing the team, game planning, coaching on Sundays. But the results weren't good, and none of us are happy with those.
Sounds like Bill needs a lozenge.
What an electric interview that was.
Ricola. So, Patriots sitting third. You could get a pretty good quarterback at that 3 pick, I would say. But my question is Bill Belichick the coach of the New England Patriots next season, in your opinion? What do you think?
In my opinion, yes.
Yeah.
But all the media reports, Jay Glazer today claiming it's a done deal. You heard him say there the last question, the only thing he actually answered, was that he actually does enjoy coaching still. He likes it. He wants to be coaching.
Yeah.
You look at this New England team, and it was a bad season. I'm not trying to take anything away. You heard the record there. Awful. But defensively, it's an elite unit. They played very, very well. They were great against the run, and they lost their best player in Matt Judon very early.
Yep.
Bill Belichick, in my opinion, I think in a lot of people's opinion, is still a savant. He's a guru, high IQ guy, whatever you want to say. We talked about this early in the year, Jay. What has he done? He's brought in his buddies to coach the offense, and they've stunk.
Yeah.
Last year,
so is that the problem?
I think so.
Yeah. Is that,
yes.
And maybe his refusal to get away from that might be why he would have to go if Robert Kraft is like, I can't have you bringing your buddies in.
I think that's part of it. Now, there's a rumor that Josh McDaniels was in the building today.
Right.
Let's not forget that Josh McDaniels did take a rookie Mac Jones to the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
I'm not a big Josh McDaniels guy, but I could definitely see him coming back where he's comfortable, a quarterback he knows, and all of a sudden this team is kind of good next year.
Yep.
So do I think he's back in New England? Again, I'm not sure if he doesn't like Robert Kraft. But, Jay, here's my next question. If you're Robert Kraft, do you really think there's somebody better than Bill Belichick out there right now?
Yeah, I guess that's the ultimate question. Who would that be?
Who are you going to get?
Yeah.
And I could see maybe if Mike Vrabel gets out of Tennessee.
You always get the Mike Vrabel
yes,
stuff. But even with that,
why would you want to replace Bill Belichick who is the best coach, arguably, in my opinion, as far as IQ goes, in the history of the NFL.
And quite frankly, if you're Mike Vrabel, why would you want to go there and follow that?
I couldn't agree more, especially
Right?
Will Levis looked kind of good at times this year.
I
You
mean,
can
why
develop
wouldn't you
that.
want to just stick where you are? I got another coaching question for you. And it's kind of a good one. You know, you're familiar with Jim Harbaugh as we take a look at the big matchup, the national championship
Go
game.
Blue,
We've got
baby.
it right here.
Go Blue.
I know you're familiar with Jim Harbaugh from your Seahawks days when you played the 49ers. Do you think he's coaching the NFL after maybe winning the title on Monday?
I do, and I do because, and this is just a take, this is an opinion here. I know nothing about this. I have no ties to the NCAA and their investigations. But it does remind me of a coach I did play for, Pete Carroll. I love the guy. I've said this numerous times. But once Pete left, there was a lot of accusations, Reggie Bush, people getting paid. Why would Jim Harbaugh want to leave, especially if they win a national championship?
Yeah.
You're at one of the most, if not the most historic college football team. You're making a ton of money. You just won a natty. I mean, your team's sponsored by Jordan. You're at the pinnacle of the sport.
You've got it all, and you're the king there.
And you're the king.
Yeah.
Why would you want to leave if there isn't something going on in the background where we need to get out of Dodge? That's where my head goes.
Not that we're making any accusations, just speculating.